Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi's relationship is one for the ages. The couple has been together for more than a decade and are widely seen as one of the strongest pairings in Hollywood. But even major fans may not know everything about their love relationship, including some of the not-so-nice parts.
This is just the face of kindness.
Portia de Rossi told Oprah in 2009 that she knew it was love when she first laid eyes on Ellen at a party back in the year 2000. However, Portia didn't have it in her to actually truly connect with Ellen until 3 years later. Portia tells the story saying that at the time, she hadn't come out in terms of her orientation, adding that she was very, very afraid that if she talked about her true self, it would be the end of her career.
So I wasn't about to then date the most famous lesbian in the world.
The pair reconnected when Ellen met Portia at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles for VH1's Big in '04 Awards and reportedly started dating not long after. Things started moving quickly after that. Portia and Ellen made their first official appearance as a couple at the HBO Golden Globe Awards party, which was held at the Beverly Hills Hilton. The couple also moved in with each other in 2005. Ellen DeGeneres popped the question only months prior to their wedding, evidently immediately after the Supreme Court ruled that the ban on same-sex marriage was unconstitutional. She made an announcement of their upcoming marriage on her daytime talk show, and they officially tied the knot during a summer wedding on August 16, 2008. But while everything seemed magical for a few years, it was reported that there may have actually been trouble in paradise for the couple. In 2013, stories of impending divorce were spreading like wildfire. Ellen and Portia were constantly on the cover of tabloid magazines that focused on the demise of their marriage. By the end of 2014, the couple was sick of hearing such rumors and seeing tabloid headlines about their split, and they denied every bit of it. Ellen tried to joke about the rumors on her show. She said she saw a magazine cover suggesting they were splitting and said, "Oh, what happened? They seemed so happy." In 2018, the couple celebrated 10 years of marriage. Portia de Rossi is married to Ellen DeGeneres, one of the most powerful and richest women in the world. More often than not, if rumors begin to spread about their marriage being on the rocks, Ellen's team of PR professionals definitely shut them down. One such story surfaced in December of 2019 in the National Enquirer with the headline, "Ellen on Scary Spending Spree." The alleged insider for this story said Portia was disturbed by her wife's spending habits and was ready to walk after Ellen purchased a $27.5 million home in February, supposedly without telling her. However, it wasn't long before this story was debunked by GossipCop.com. But while these tabloid rumors about Ellen's scary spending spree have been written off, the story suggested that Portia was ready to leave her wife because of Ellen's careless spending. Ellen was quoted a year before this story broke, sharing her attitude towards money, saying, "I am always going to just get what I want. Because I know there is an abundance and I will always have enough. That's how I live my life. You shouldn't live your life in fear of money," seemingly hinting that no one can tell Ellen how to spend her millions. While some of these tabloid rumors were hard to find truth in at first, the internet was completely shook when a tweet thread began exposing Ellen as one of the meanest people alive. The tweet thread was started on March 20th, 2020 by comedian Kevin T. Porter, saying he wanted to hear stories from people who have worked with Ellen and have experienced her not-so-kind side, and that he would match every story with a $2 donation to the LA Food Bank. Kevin's Twitter was flooded with responses, many of them claiming that Ellen is cruel to her employees. While stories from people who used to work with Ellen were upsetting, there was also a few stories about how Ellen treats her wife Portia that rubbed many fans the wrong way. One tweet had a source claiming they heard that Ellen would often go to the gym with her wife and not only was a spoiled horror show, but that she also yelled at Portia during every workout. If it's not about her potential controlling nature towards Portia's workout routine, it's about being Ellen's messenger. One tweet explained that when Ellen is due for a haircut, Portia is often sent into salons ahead of time to prepare everyone, saying that she has to come in beforehand and try to explain that it has to be done in 5 minutes. Another Twitter user claimed that when Portia was on the television show Arrested Development, Ellen made it difficult for Portia to get to set most days, and the writers actually had to find workarounds for any scenes Portia was in. This particular story led to one tweet which reminded everyone about Portia's acting career. In 2018, Portia decided to retire from acting with the excuse,
And I just wanted to try something different, so I started an art publishing company.
The opinion of one Twitter user was that they were convinced the reason why Portia doesn't act anymore wasn't because she wanted something different, but that Ellen had something to do with it. Possibly because Ellen was worried about Portia's fame superseding hers. Portia's interviews regarding her retirement have also had fans thinking that she seems less than enthusiastic about quitting acting and are worried that Ellen is being too controlling. On the flip side, Portia has requested that Ellen retire from the talk show on numerous occasions, to which Ellen refuses. In an interview for the New York Times in 2018 titled "Ellen DeGeneres is not as nice as you think," Ellen said her brother advocates for her continuing on with the show, while Portia asks her to move on to other projects like a podcast or stand-up, especially since she would be home more often. During that same interview, Ellen got a call from her wife Portia learning that she had just fallen off of her horse. Portia ended up coming out of the accident with nothing more than a concussion. While Ellen responded quickly with concern, asking if anything was broken, she shifted gears right after she hung up. The interviewer wrote that she asked her personal chef for an iced tea. When Portia arrived at the house later and pleaded her case again for Ellen to stop doing her talk show, saying, "I don't see the end of her show as her career ending," Ellen responded with, "You have a concussion. What do you know?" Ellen even took to her show 1 year after this interview to make sure everyone knew that she had no intention of giving up the show. She made the announcement that she signed a renewal for 3 more years, seeing the show through the year 2022, also saying one reason for the renewal was Lamborghinis are expensive. Looks like Portia isn't getting her way on this matter anytime soon. It's possible that Portia has found herself embarrassed by Ellen's jab in her New York Times interview, but it's not the first time she's felt shaded. Portia de Rossi has said on numerous occasions that she's not a fan of interviews and the press that is required of celebrities. Knowing this, Ellen still has Portia come on her talk show. On one episode in 2015, Ellen decided to show some slightly embarrassing photos that she's taken of Portia to her large studio audience and, of course, the world. While it could be that this was supposed to be all in good fun, Portia was visibly embarrassed and didn't seem to appreciate the shade. In an interview on Ellen the year before, Portia was asked questions sent in by fans. Through one question of, "Between the two of you, who's the better driver?" Portia revealed that Ellen refuses to let her drive. In 2019, more intense headlines started surfacing about Ellen and Portia's crumbling marriage. An insider claimed that Portia hadn't visited the Ellen DeGeneres show offices for weeks, implying that there really was trouble in paradise for these two. They also claimed that Portia was already at her wit's end because their marriage problems had been piling up and they couldn't keep them a secret any longer, saying it's pretty clear they're leading separate lives. As bad as that sounded, the same source found it highly unlikely that the couple would actually split, saying that there is too much at stake. While some pieces of this story were later debunked, it's worth noting what actually is at stake. Evidently, California law entitles a spouse to get a share of their partner's estate as soon as their marriage reaches at least a decade. The couple's marriage turned 10 in August of 2018, which can mean that Portia has the right to more of Ellen DeGeneres' fortune, which is reportedly worth $490 million, while Portia's worth is $60 million. Ellen may even use that $490 million net worth to keep Portia close. In early 2020, it was reported by In Touch Weekly that Portia had decided to move out of their marital home in Los Angeles and had been living in another property of theirs in Montecito for weeks. A source even claimed that Ellen tries to appease her by giving her whatever she wants, but that it maybe wasn't always working. One Twitter user emphasized this same claim, saying that Ellen will use her wealth to appease Portia. The tweet read that they were told by someone who had done hair or makeup in Ellen's vicinity that everybody knows Portia wants to leave, but when she tries, Ellen just buys her another pony. And one more inside source told IB Times that Ellen made the idea of Portia quitting acting to start her art publishing company all the more appealing by helping with the finances, as well as purchasing lots of properties all over the country. Ellen's wealth and eccentric tastes has potentially spilled over into her and Portia's relationship and how they go about their day-to-day lives. In Touch said in January of 2020 that the couple have embraced extremely unusual practices to keep their marriage going, considering they've been married for over 11 years. Evidently, these strange practices include vows of silence and strict rules which include using hands instead of utensils and avoiding dining with others in social situations. An inside source claimed Ellen is known to cut off longtime friends and not talk to them for years, and added Ellen and Portia are multi-millionaires living in a bubble. They're out of touch and becoming more and more eccentric. Ellen's timing to reportedly be more isolated from friends, however, couldn't have been worse. As of March 2020, Ellen and Portia started social distancing due to the global health crisis and are stuck inside together for quite some time. The couple has been documenting their attempt at keeping busy during their time in isolation with things like puzzles. Portia was shown in a video where she explained that she's attempting to learn how to cook for her and Ellen. However, she looks somewhat disheveled in the video, frustrated that her recipe isn't coming out the way it looks in the photos. While Ellen keeps recording, Portia says, "I just need a minute." And the moment between the two seems tense. Hopefully, this time together will give this couple exactly what they need to keep going strong and to work out any of the kinks in their marriage. Does it shock you to know some more information about Ellen and Portia's relationship? Do you think some of these stories are true, or do people just want to take down this powerful couple? Let us know in the comment section below, like this video, and subscribe to The Taco for more. See you soon!